Hey guys, time for another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. Today I was here by myself. It's a Thursday. Let's talk about what I did. Started in on the Ghia this morning and started by doing a front end alignment. It was pretty close, just kind of eyeballing it from when I put the car back together, but of course, wasn't perfect. So I got the wheels facing straight and got the toe in set that's set at about an 1/8 inch toe in, which is about where I like to put them. I set the camber, it was about negative half a degree or so, which is pretty good for traction and tire wear. And what else? I checked the caster. You can't really adjust caster and camber very independently on these, but it was about 4 degrees caster on each side, which is fine. Car should ride and steer real nice on the freeway and around town. The other thing I did was the steering coupler, all this stuff was assembled but just loose. So I went ahead and tightened all that down and tightened down these little lock plates that are stock on the hardware for the couplers here. Kind of a nice touch to use that instead of just split lock washers or nylock nuts or whatever. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the alignment now, so I'll probably go ahead and tighten down the tie rods. And then I think we have the gas tank for it, and I got these tubes and stuff that go over here. I think probably before we put the gas tank in it, we will go ahead and bleed the brakes, just because, heaven forbid, there's a leak or something anywhere here. Definitely going to be easier to deal with the gas tank out. So yeah, we'll go ahead and bleed the brakes, and then the gas tank will go in. The other thing I did today was I installed the front turn signals. They're kind of a pain. And one thing was, grab my flashlight here. The driver's side, which is the fender on this car that had been replaced, didn't actually have the brackets that hold the turn signal assembly. So I'll show you. So the brackets that hold this turn signal assembly were just missing, so you can actually kind of see I made a couple. There's one there and there's one there to hold this in. They basically just had a huge hole cut there. The brackets weren't there and the hole was kind of cut oversized. At first what I was going to do, which is what the previous owner, or the current owner's dad had done, was he had just put screws through the bulb holder into the body. But when I checked that, the opening on this side, again, he's got a bigger than opening than it's supposed to be. The opening on this side is so big that when you put this turn signal in the correct place, basically there's no metal behind here. The metal stops about right here, so there's nothing really to screw into. So that's why I made those brackets. I didn't really have any other choice to hold that in. Wasn't going to do it at first, but it really left me with no choice. If I had slid it over where he had them mounted, then basically this turn signal would have been it was like 3/4 of an inch or something toward the inside of the car, compared to this one, which is in the correct location with all the stock brackets and stuff. So it just would have looked funny. And honestly, when I started looking at mounting it up in that position, the curvature of the lens assembly and stuff was really off from the body. As you can imagine, those curves kind of have to match. And so if you move this turn signal housing that way, almost an inch, you can see how those curves wouldn't really match. Anyway, long story short, made some brackets, blackened them, bolted it together. Pretty happy with the outcome. So I think that's about it on this one for today. Worked on the bus a little bit, not too much. Started putting on the rear tail lights, which came in today. So this one is fully installed. Love how these look on the older buses. This one is partially installed. I'll finish that up in the morning. And other than that, I spent some time chasing colors for this car. So the owner wants the car in ruby red or something close to that, and I'm just having a heck of a time finding a part in that color that we can use as a reference. Another shop sent over a part that was supposedly ruby red, but to me it looked like a dark version of this kind of orange that the buses are. And granted, Volkswagen calls this color sealing wax red. To me, this is straight up orange. I don't know. Maybe I have a different idea of what orange and red look like than Germans. I don't know. But if I just saw this, I'd say that's an orange bus. And the sample that we had for this, which again was supposedly ruby red, to me just looked orange. So I'm investigating some other possible ways that we can get some color samples. Ultimately, the owner has to choose what he wants. I'll try and provide him a few that are close, and then he can pick which one he likes best. They'll match it, and we'll call it a day. A bit of a frustrating day because Verizon, for whatever reason, my cell service and 5G internet and 4G internet, for that matter, have just been completely out all day. So if anyone watching this happened to have tried to contact me, I wasn't ignoring you. I literally have not been able to send or receive text messages, emails, phone calls, anything today. So super frustrating. Not sure what's going on with Verizon. They're usually pretty good, but today they kind of suck. So that is it for today, guys. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.